So I just bought this property somewhere in the Catskills. Closing process was an ordeal, but finally got it done. And wanted to show you all my new property. So there's about 7 acres of land here. This flat spot here is where I call it a cabin, but it's sort of a shed barn kind of thing. So we've got a camper that the previous owner left, and there's a truck back there that's pretty rusty, but we'll see if we can get that started at some point. Most of the land goes up into those hills, so not super buildable, but it's good for hiking and building some trails back there. So there's from the outside of the cabin, we got a red door on the side. I guess this is the front door. I like the look of the siding, just natural. There is electricity. There isn't any water or septic, so we're gonna have to get that sorted out at some point. But I gotta get the electric under my name. And there is a crawl space down there, but it's been nailed shut. So we'll see what dead bodies might be down there in a few days, probably. And there's the truck, the camper, and my van. Here's some more of the grassy area. And it does go up into the mountains on that road, about 1,000 feet. So it's a sizable mountain. All right, let's go inside. Opening the door. As you can see, it's pretty barren. There's no insulation. Seems like the previous owner did some kind of a tar paper between 2 layers of boards. So I'm guessing that it used to be just this layer and more like a barn. And then he made it a little bit more airtight, but not too airtight. You can see like barn wood that was used. I think that's pretty cool. Here's more of that barn wood. There's more of that barn wood. They left me a little light. Electric panel. Let's see what else is here. I guess they were trying to make that into a bathroom. And there will be the kitchen area. Let's take a look at this fridge. Yeah, that probably needs to go to the junkyard. I think that's another fridge. Little table. And what the hell is this? Pest chaser. I guess I have little mice friends. bathroom, I'm seeing this tarp that's been put over this 2x4 on the windowsill. I'm guessing there's some kind of leak there, but I don't really see any sign of leakage or anything. We'll have to see what that's about when it starts raining. I'm gonna head upstairs. Barnwood. Just a steel roofing there. No insulation. Little light. So in the property pictures on Zillow, there was like a little bit more furniture. The owner took it all, and there was actually a really nice looking stove down there, wood burning stove, but that's no longer here, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to heat this place. I'm guessing with another wood burning stove that I can buy. What's this? These are like little ladybugs, which are not really ladybugs, but they're more like pests. Wow, got a lot of work cut out for me. What is this? Sonic Plus. I'm guessing that's another pest control thing. There's another one. All right, that's enough for the inside. So this is a view from across the street. One cool thing about this property is that I have this little 1/4 acre plot across the street, and this trail leads down so it looks like there was some kind of a foundation here, and if I look in the old survey records, there was like something about a school, so maybe it was school land, or I don't know. Maybe we can figure that out later going through the records. But yeah, we got this creek down here. I think that's pretty cool. So I came back to the yard, and now I'm gonna head up into the mountain. It really is a mountain. This is pretty freaking steep. Trying to go up this way. So one thing, I think I mentioned before that this place has no water. So no well, no city water, obviously, but I did notice this concrete structure here that was built. When I first came to look at the place, I thought it was a spring, like a mountain spring, but I don't see any pipes coming out of it. I think if it was a spring, there would be like a pipe coming out somewhere here. But it's obviously some kind of a dam, and there's a water runoff going that way. So I don't know, maybe it's a well. I tried to lift up this cover before, but it's kind of gross and I don't have my gloves on me, so we'll take a look at that later, see what's under there. All right, so we'll go back. Oh, one other thing I want to show you. So the cabinet's down there, and then there's this kind of another grassy area. It's all weeds right now, but I could potentially build like a driveway, another driveway coming in from the road, or maybe even like a tiny house or something. All right, let's keep going. Found a tarp. Not sure what that's all about. And then up here, it's very wooded, so there's less vegetation, but it's quite nice. And this spot is kind of flat, like it's almost the road. Might have been a road at some point. And if I walk towards the east, no, the western border, you can see, let me zoom in there. Those are my neighbors' no trespassing signs. Really wants you to know not to trespass. So actually up there is an old logging road. There's another orange flag there. I think that's my property line. And my neighbor telling me not to cross it. Okay, so now I'm walking east again towards the road. I see all this growth here. I just want to check to see if there's any Japanese knotweed, which doesn't seem like there is, so that's good. And then that is a white birch, and there's actually another one back there, or another two, could be more. So yeah, I like these white birch. So I've got some pine trees here. You can see the pine needles down on the ground. But for the most part, it's all hardwood. Okay, then I'm gonna head up towards, this is north, going up towards the mountain. It's a little less hilly here, but like over on the left, it just goes straight up. I'm gonna head up that way. So I'm going west now towards the logging road that I talked about. There's some hair. From what animal? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so my idea is, I don't know if you can see the cabin down there, somewhere down there. Idea is to, like, it's about a 200-foot elevation change from the top of this. I guess the northern end of my property down to where the cabin is. So 100%. I'm building a trail, downhill trail. I'll throw in some jumps so I can practice, because I am not very good at jumping. All right. Now we're like right at that logging trail I was talking about. Okay. And I think I crossed my property line, because my northern neighbor, they're not so anal about the trespassing. It seems like just these like paint marks to denote where the property line is. I'm not sure if this logging road, so this is the logging road. If this road is part of my property, or if it's some kind of easement, or somebody else owns it. We'll have to figure that out using the survey. So now I'm walking down south-ish back towards the cabin. Yeah, there's some trees down on this road, so if it does end up being my property, then I'll clear this road out. Yeah, look at these downhill runs. It's hard to see on the video, but I have a vision. Then there's more ribbons here and blue paint. There's some orange flags there, and if I zoom in there, there's another purple no trespassing sign. So I guess this is where my property ends. I'm just trying to figure out what's the easiest way to get down while still holding my phone and not killing myself. I think we'll go down this way. Another thing I noticed this morning was this stump here. And this here is a dryad saddle mushroom. It's edible, but at this stage it might be too tough. It could be like leathery, but just feeling it, I feel like the edges can at least be edible. If it's too tough to eat, then it actually makes a great stock. So I'll take this off later and probably try to eat the edges and make stock with the rest of it. These are puffballs. They're, super old, but basically there's 2 edible mushrooms that's growing on this stump. All right, I guess I'm gonna get my van unloaded and then we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Hi again. So it turns out that these blue markers, which I thought were denoted my property line, is actually not correct. The property actually keeps going up. So I'm using an app on my phone, and there's like these borders on it. It's not super accurate, but it gives a kind of idea of where your property begins and ends. And it does seem like this logging road that I'm walking on is actually not a part of my property. Wow, that is disgusting. Basically a deer carcass, and there's these little bugs that are feeding off what's left of the bones. In case you'd like to see gross things. So I'm gonna just keep walking up and see where it ends. One thing of note here is that there's a lot of this, the rocks around here, they're slate, so kind of flat, sharp edges, flat pieces of rock, and that was actually what was used for the foundation on the cabin. And I'm hoping I can harvest some of it for the foundation for the shed and whatnot. Yeah, you can see more of that. It's either shale or slate. I think it's slate. I believe shale becomes slate. I'm walking back here because there is this giant tree on my property, that tree, and it is dead. So you can see the woodpeckers have gone to town on it, but it looks like softwood. I'm gonna say it's pine. I may take that down or just let it come down by itself. It looks pretty dangerous to cut it, but we'll see. There's a reason why I moved here. All right, still going up. You can see the white birch that has fallen at some point. All right, here's a water runoff, which leads me to believe that over there where that mossy stuff is probably a natural spring in there. The only problem being, I don't think this logging road is mine. I did walk on this trail when I came to see the property, and I don't know why I got confused before as to where the border was, but I've been walking a good amount, and I still haven't. There's like a more concrete marker which denotes the property line, and I'm also keeping an eye on the app until I get to the end. But still, oh, there it is. So there's a little tree up there with an orange flag on it, and that should be, oh, yep, there's also I don't know what they call these, but it's like a survey marker. It's like a rebar kind of thing, piece of metal they dug into the ground. So to the right, where the hill is, that's my property, and here's the logging road, and then that just goes up and up. And I mean, it's super hard to build here. You'll need to spend a ton of money just putting in roads and driveways and whatnot. So there's no houses here. There's no, I don't know, I haven't like really trespassed. I'm not really looking forward to trespassing. So I don't know what's up there, but I'm thinking the person, I looked up the property records, and basically there's this person who owns 3 plots of land, all adjoining on this giant hill. I'm thinking he uses it for hunting every once in a while. I think it's like 30 acres, 50 acres, and 10 acres. I mean, ideally, I would like to buy this from that person at some point. I mean, that would be sweet to be able to build some trails that go up there. It'll be very hard, but I'm planning to have some machinery to help with that. So, I mean, if it's like unbuildable and the guy already has, you know, like the 50 acres, 30 acres, 10 acres, maybe I can convince him to sell the 30 acre, which just goes straight up the mountain. I don't know what kind of people are into that kind of land other than people like me. So I see another sign here that's on the ground. Doesn't have anyone's name on it, so I don't know who put that up. Could have been the previous owner for my property or my neighbor. Really hope I can meet my neighbor at some point. Alright, so I'm going down east towards the road, just like hugging the border. Yeah, here's some white birch. They're kind of gray birch, not quite white. I don't know what that means. Actually, I guess it's birch. I'll call it birch for now. Alright, so I walked down from the woods there, and then you can see all this overgrowth, which is happening because there's a power line and they had to clear all the trees out of here. So like all this brush gets a lot of sun and just grows and gets really thick. I'm gonna try to pass through here because even though it's gonna be tick city, so I want to get over to the other side. The power line, I mean, they're like telephone lines, like residential. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Enabled me to get this land at the price that I did. It's an easement, so the power company has an easement, and also Verizon does. So I've crossed over the power line now. I mean, I'll clear some of that out and cut trails through it eventually. I mean, I've got so much, just too much to do, you know, so much on my mind. And to be honest, cutting a trail is not on top of the list. So yeah, I came from that clearing, and then if I look east, you can see the road down there. So I guess it's almost a drop-off cliff here. Nah, not. I mean, there is a rock there, but it's reasonably steep, I guess. I'm just looking for any signs of natural spring, because I mean, one of my first priorities is gonna be to figure out if I can set up a spring, if there is a spring, or I need to dig a well. I guess I really have to go with one of those two choices. I mean, the only other would be to try to catch rainwater or to haul water, which is not, I mean, which would be horrible and not very economical. Yeah, I hadn't walked this side before, this side of the power line, and it's cool. I like it. But you can see why my neighbor up north has not built any structure on this property. It just will be impossible to like put in a road from the road up to the mountain. Again, hard to see on the video, but trust me. Okay, I guess one thing I can do is maybe sometime tomorrow, or I don't know, some other day, I'll just like walk up the road and see if any, you know, if there's any signs of like off-road vehicles that went into his property. That'll kind of allow me to guess how often they're actually coming to the property, or maybe it's just an investment. I don't know. So we'll see. By the way, it looks like on this side there's more pine trees. There's hardly any pine trees on the other side. But near the road, there's some pine cones. Yeah, there's some pine. I like the mix. So now I've gotten to kind of this point where I either have to go back through the bushy clearing where the power lines are. Oh yeah, you can see the mountain on the other side. It's a little bit noisy because there's a interstate like half mile, I want to say, down. That's like more quiet actually than there's like a 1-lane state highway about 2,000 feet down the road where cars are going like 55 miles per hour, and that tends to be generate the most noise at the house. But yeah, it is what it is. At night it gets really quiet. Nobody travels around here at night. Yeah, so I think I was saying I either have to go back through the power line or jump off this almost cliff kind of thing. So I'm not gonna jump. You can hear the water. There's a creek on the other side of the road. And right here, yeah, that part of the creek is part of my property. So I think I mentioned before, but there's 1/4 of an acre across the street with creek access. So I circumnavigated the whole property by foot and I got about 0.9 miles over with about a 209 feet of elevation gain. So 200 foot downhill doesn't sound too bad to me. Okay, so I've had time to unpack the van. There's still a giant truck that will arrive here on Saturday. I mean, I'm gonna be driving it, but okay, so I have had time now to unpack a few things from my van. Most of the stuff is still back in New Jersey. I rented a giant truck and plan to go get it on Saturday at U-Haul and load up everything with some friends that are helping and drive it back up. Now, I am finding that, kind of recognizing that I'm not gonna have enough space here. I think I can fit like the contents in this cabin, but there'll be like no room to like work or move around. It's just gonna be a disaster. So, and it's gonna take me a while to build a shed probably. So what I am probably going to do is rent a storage unit so I can just unload the stuff there easily, and then hopefully like in a month or so I will have the shed built and start moving the stuff from the storage place so I don't have to pay for storage. Well, we'll see how that goes. I also had some time to set up my Starlink. Let me turn this off and okay, so now we got it in this view. As you can see, I put it on the top of my van because there's some trees. That's the northern sky, and it's supposed to point mostly to the northern sky. And that's the best place I could find where I could get a decent connection. I think eventually I'm gonna have to either mount it to the house, or maybe I can put it up in the tree or something. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'll figure that out. So it's on the van right now. I'm probably gonna have to take it down soonish because I'm gonna go out to grab a bite to eat and maybe pick up a few things from the hardware store. But there's a cable going into the house. Fortunately, this door sill is so messed up that it doesn't crimp the cable at all when I close it. But another thing to fix. To be honest, it's kind of overwhelming right now, thinking about everything like I'm gonna have to do here to make this place somewhat livable. I mean, I think I've lived out of the van 4 months before, so I know I can live like this, but it's not what I want to do. I'll go more into why I decided to do this in other future episodes. But for now, I think this might be it for today, and I'm signing out.